to Adventurous Spirits. This is another Tuesday. Had a few technical difficulties getting started today, so for my live listeners, thanks for your patience. I think we figured it out. Let me know how it sounds in the chat. But here we are for a weekly musical podcast, which is designed to help encourage each of us together individually on the long and winding adventures of life, creativity, relationships, all of the above. The things that get us out of bed in the morning and tire us out enough to go back to bed at night. So you may already know that the world is full of intimidating but thrilling endeavors, and we are people who pursue them because we like excitement, right? We like excitement, we like action, we like adventure, we like glory and epicness, we like thrills and chills. So here we're going to come together to support those daily efforts that lead to a more exciting life, the major milestones that make us proud to look back and say, I did that. Steve says it sounds okay, maybe a little tinny. I'm not sure why it would sound tinny, but I think let's go ahead with it for right now. Hopefully, I'll take some time to mess around with it after the recording, after the broadcast. So, speaking of excitement and surprises, sometimes you get to have your surprises in front of people. It's all live. It's happening as we speak, as I speak, as you listen. Well, this is episode 21, and I titled it Waiting. No adventures, no special little twists, just waiting. And I know that title alone is making everybody excited. Oh, the piano's too loud. Interesting. That's a new experience. All right, I will put my mic closer. Thanks for the heads up. I did some recording over the weekend, and I'm wondering if I messed up my settings for the podcast. I might have. I thought I set everything back, but you know, this is how I learn. On the fly, typically. Well, what was I saying? It was not a deliberate nod, it just kind of worked out that way. Because while you were waiting, I actually was quite busy. I was quite busy making things work. I wasn't expecting to have to fix my tech right away. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm glad that I checked it because, things were pretty askew. So I've gotten out of the habit of testing my feed before I go live, because usually I just kind of keep the settings the same, but thankfully something told me, test this, because I was recording different music over the weekend, and so you need different settings. So even though it should be the same, because I did reset after I finished recording, they're just surprises. There are surprises around every bend. My voice is too low. How is this possible? All right, I'm going to turn up my voice really quick. Don't go anywhere. strange. I'm a little confused about how this is so weird. Why is it so weird today? Clearly more thoughts and experiences are in order. All right. Well, where was I? Let me tell you who I am. I'm Courtney Matz. I'm your host for today on this waiting adventure, and I'll be serenading us along the way, all my fellow adventurous spirits, because every personal growth journey needs a soundtrack. And speaking of soundtracks, a lot of the times, okay, sounds a lot better. Okay, oh good, thanks Steve. Speaking of soundtracks, music can really make all the difference when you're in this waiting period. I think anyone who has started something and then endeavored to finish it, you've had times where you've just got to wait. You've got to wait for other people. You have to wait for new ideas. You have to wait for the weather. And I don't know about you, but I don't love it. I don't love waiting. And I think probably humans in general don't prefer to wait. We like to start something and then see it move, see it progress. We like to plant a seed and then watch it grow. And we intuitively know, or from experience we know, that seeds take some time to grow. But you kind of keep wanting to look and see that it's growing, just to assure yourself. You want some evidence that all of this effort is worthwhile. So yeah, lots of thoughts about waiting today, and actually I have lots of songs about waiting. It was hard to pick which ones to actually sing for you today. And if you have ever thought about writing a song, I want to invite you to participate in a songwriting workshop that I'm leading next week. It's called Self-Care Through Songwriting. It's on May 30th, which is a Tuesday. So whether you've thought about it or not, I think it'll be a good time to actually mine some of your internal thoughts and feelings and turn them into songs that you can sing to yourself. So here's one of those that I wrote a while ago, a few months ago. So as I play this, I just want to ask you, what is it that you're waiting on right now? Any unfinished business? Any mid moments where either someone else has to weigh in, or, it's just not the right time for whatever reason? So this song's called Anything. Open the door and walk inside to a space that is so deep and wide that you cannot find the end. No, you cannot find the end. Keep exploring round each bend. Something beautiful begins and you cannot find the end. No, you cannot find the end. And you can do anything that you want to. Yeah, you want to. Just do anything. You can try to put your hand to. What if it's true? Creeps in. What if this is all pretend and it's coming to an end? You're not ready for the end. All day long you're wrestling how to get back to that dream where you couldn't find the end. I wish it never ended and you could do You may not do everything that you want to when you want to, but true, anything is inside you, it will find you, whatever you do. Open your heart and look inside. Hidden gems, refracted light, and you cannot find the end. Steve's waiting on some work and some people to pay him for his work. I understand that feeling. Where you've done the invoice, you've done the follow-up, you're not hearing anything. Sometimes you are hearing things, but none of those things tend to be very instructive in terms of when you might expect a result. And I think there's something fundamental about waiting that just feels wrong. It feels like you shouldn't have to wait. And especially those of us who are freelancers or entrepreneurs, we have it drilled into us that you guys, there's always something to do. You know, you've always got to keep after it, whatever it is. There's always work to be done. There is always intentional effort to be put forth. And boy, I have really bought into that over the years. And I don't disagree with it. But I think ultimately some of that effort can feel very wasted. Because the reality is that there are just times and seasons of waiting. It's baked into our reality. When you put brownies in the oven, you have to wait 30 to 40 minutes for them to be cooked. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. You can try to speed it up by turning up the oven to a higher temperature. I don't know that I recommend it, but it is something that you can do. It still doesn't make it instantaneous. Even the microwave, which is kind of our go-to for quick fixes and making things happen quickly, it's not instant. It still takes some time. So then I think we try to accommodate that by not micromanaging. Well, we sometimes micromanage, but multitasking, that's the word. Multitasking is the answer. So you're gonna have to wait for something, but while that thing is doing whatever, then you should be doing other things. And I think that's probably true as well. We probably shouldn't put brownies in the oven and then just sit and watch them. Unless you have a very tricksy oven and it needs a lot of attention. But it's not like your whole day has to hinge on that baking time. But also it is permission to rest. It is permission to wait and rest in the fact that eventually the timer will go off, the brownies will be baked, and then you know your project will be complete. But other than waiting on that particular project, there's not much else that can be done. And there are certain things like that I'm resigned to. I have learned that when I come to a stoplight when I'm driving, it's in my best interest to just patiently wait for it to turn green and not try to edge forward and, I don't know what people think when we're so anxious to get out of a red light that we're sometimes running it or just not paying attention to pedestrians in the crosswalk. There are a lot of opportunities in life to wait, and we just never really want to do it, I think. So, how many times are you at the grocery store and you get in line, and if it's a long line, you can't help but look around and think, is there a different line that I should choose instead? Sometimes. And sometimes there is no way you could have known that the two people in front of you will both have multiple things. They'll have a price check, and then they'll have to send something to go get the ink tags taken off, and then one thing after another to just delay, and then their card doesn't work. There are lots of things and hang-ups to keep you waiting in line even longer. So it's like double whammy. You already don't want to be in this line. You already want to be about your business, on with your day, and then you are waiting on other people's needs. So I say all that to say there's just a number of ways in which life conspires to make us wait. And even though it generally feels wrong, I think there are some benefits that may come out of it. So this is a song that I wrote as sort of a self-defense against other people who are rushing me. And this can be physical people in my actual life, or just perceptions of what people might be thinking, or just kind of a composite of all the things that I've heard, and therefore I think periodically when I catch myself in these waiting periods and it feels wrong. It's like, you know what, here's my defense, is that it is not always a bad idea to wait. And it certainly is almost an idea. Okay, it's certainly almost as a bad idea to rush. So tell me what you think of this song. If I can remember how it starts. There we go. I hope it gives you permission to rest and wait. Hey, lazy on a hot afternoon, lost in a dream. I'm waiting change me, try to make me who we are. Who knows where we following stars. You wanted someone to lean on, and you leaned on me. I wanted a star to dream on, and stars are free. Who knows where we are? Just a wandering star. A song that I want to write sometime, maybe next week, is about my tendency to dawdle. And probably most people who know me would not consider that I'm a pokey person. I'm kind of a go-getter. I'm usually busy. But often I feel like I'm moving much slower than I'm capable of. Sometimes that's by design, that's intentional. Because you just don't want to feel like you're hurrying all the time. And I think it's easier to hurry, especially when it feels like you're not doing enough. And it feels like you have to make haste in order to squeeze in all of the things that you want to do in your life. And I just, every now and then, I'm just done. I'm done with the hustle. So waiting sometimes is inflicted on us. We have to wait. And then other times I think waiting is just a thing that has to happen. We just are, either we're not sure what to do next, or we're in a position where we need to rest and recover, or just don't really know what to do next for whatever reason. And I don't really love that frame of mind for myself, but it does happen. And And it's not like there isn't anything to do, but I think I just get tired when I realize that I'm motivated by avoiding something I don't want. Does that make sense? So it's one thing to sort of have a vision for what you're trying to do in life and to move towards it. But I think also there's either you see a window closing or you begin to be anxious about something happening in your life that you don't want, and so you're sort of prompted to action because of that. And yeah, that just has limited potential for joy, I think. You know, it's sort of like waking up to an alarm. I really have a hard time with alarm clocks, partly because I wrestle with some insomnia, and so sometimes I just haven't gotten the sleep that I need before that alarm goes off. And especially when you've finally gotten to sleep. So anyway, there's a number of reasons why alarm clocks are not my friend. But there are occasions where I just need an alarm clock. Like if I have to be somewhere for a meeting, or if I have to catch a plane that's early, alarm clocks are helpful, so I don't oversleep and miss those situations. But it's not a way of life. It's not a thing that I want to have to... It's not a thing that I want to have to deal with every single day. So I'm wondering, what are the benefits of waiting? Instead of kind of focusing on the thing that I'm waiting for that isn't happening, what opportunities is this waiting period providing that I might not have otherwise? Is it genuinely just sanctioned rest time? Is it an opportunity to have sort of a creative perspective of this time? Is it simply character building? To not always get what I want when I want it? When I say that, it sounds like I usually get what I want when I want it. I think there are a lot of things that I'm resigned to not getting not getting when I want them. And I think that's true of most of you listening as well. But maybe we're used to having some power, some say in the matter. So rather than simply feeling helpless, I wonder what may come of these waiting periods. Maybe it's a new song. I asked a question about this yesterday in our Adventurous Spirits Facebook group, and I said, are you mostly starting a new project this week? Are you, in terms of creativity, are you doing something new creatively? Are you finishing something creatively? Or are you in the middle of a project? And the vast majority of responses were that middle thing. I'm in the middle of something. So I think we're all at different points with this waiting. Even when it all depends on you, even a writing project, even a song, there are times where I just have to walk away from it because I don't know what's next. And I can walk away with trusting that later I'll have better perspective on it. or I'll have new opportunities to explore it. Because everything is changing subtly all the time. And back in episode 12, we talked about time management and the concept of different types of time. There are times to be active, proactive, times to follow up, times to do. And there are times to just trust that something's going on under the surface that we don't have any control over, which feels very odd. Doesn't feel... What's the word I'm looking for? It just doesn't feel reassuring, you know? I tend to be reassured by things that I can see and have some sort of tangible influence on. So can we learn to trust that even in these waiting periods, something's going on? There's something going on. And maybe what it is will become more apparent later. Maybe not, but maybe. We all have stories like this, right? Things, waiting things, active things, surprise things. One of the things that I've been waiting on for my entire life, really, is to find a life partner. And I know I am not alone in that camp. Many of us are, well, we're looking, but there's a lot of waiting in the looking. All of the activity still feels very, very waiting. Waiting for the right time, waiting for the right person, becoming the right person. And whew, boy, that is a journey. That is a whole podcast. That is probably a whole book. Many songs have been written on that particular wait. And this is one that I wrote that still encourages me now and then when I think, what am I waiting for? It's called Believe in Us. To my future man, there's something you should understand. Life never goes the way we plan, but this I can promise you, that when you speak I'll listen, and when you dream I believe, and when you're scared I'll be there. I think that's how it's meant to be. Through all of the ups and through all the downs, every trip around the sun. Who knows what's next, but I know this much. You'll never be bored and you'll always be loved. You'll never be bored and you'll always be loved. So believe in us. We all have history, things we knew. I've been around a block or two. It's hard to find a risk worthwhile, or a dream you want to come true. But when you try, I'll cheer you on, and when you win, I'll sing songs. When all else fails, I'll be there. Honey, what else is going on? Through all of the ups and through all the downs, every trip around the sun. Who knows what's next, but I know this much. You'll never be bored and you'll always be loved. You'll never be bored and you'll always be loved. So believe in us. Believe in us. I believe in us. I never know what might happen next, but I've never been bored and I've always been loved. We will always be bored and never be, wait, loved. We will always be loved. Yeah, this much is true. I will always love you. Did I get ya? Gotta be paying attention for that last part. Oh my, this is a challenging topic, y'all. And I invite your ongoing comments in the chat or later on. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of words. Once this is posted to YouTube, more comments, more thoughts in our Facebook group, Adventurous Spirits. And yeah, just let us know where you are in this process of waiting, what you're waiting for, what you're doing while you wait, what helps, what makes it just feel like you're passing the time. I think there are times to just pass the time, but it is certainly a topic to grapple with. When is it time to just wait, to rest, to do things that are refreshing and inspiring for us, to clean, you know, when is it just waiting time? And how can you embrace this particular wait, or whatever wait comes to you next, and the potential gifts therein? What do you do while you're standing in line? What do you do while you're at a stoplight? Oh gosh, the one that I was thinking of recently, getting off a plane. Is there any weirder wait? Like, everyone is primed for action, and there's nothing you can do, there's nowhere you can go, and you have no idea when you'll be able to start. And it just feels like the most wasted time in anyone's day. You're just sitting there waiting to get off a plane. There's not a whole lot you can do in that moment. So how do you be present and participate in your life while you are stuck in a seat, not able to get your bag out of the overhead, and not yet able to move? You're not even in line to get out of the plane. You're just there, just waiting, just waiting. So I hope that you have enjoyed yourself today. If I've given you something good to think about, give me a little like. We YouTubers enjoy those likes. I'm not sure what they do for the algorithm, but probably something. And if you know someone who's waiting, and they're frustrated in their wait, go ahead and share this with them. I hope it helps. I really do. I hope that these songs and these thoughts of mine just help. They help us all feel a little bit less alone, and give you some, hopefully, new thoughts to think in the process. Give us all some perspective. And if it's helpful to you, would you consider supporting this podcast and my music at Patreon? Patreon.com/CourtneyMatz. You can become a member for as little as $1 a month, or as much as you like, really. Let your imagination take you away. And if you're craving a new creative outlet, why don't you come and join me at the Self-Care Through Songwriting Workshop next Tuesday. I'll put the link in the description here. Meanwhile, whether you're waiting, whether you're charging into the fray, whether everything that you ever wanted is coming true, I hope that you genuinely enjoy your life. Go out there and have a good time. Smile at the people that you see. Look everyone in the eye. Just engage the world as you come to it. And I hope to see you next Tuesday. We'll be here with another installment of Adventurous Spirits. You have fun out there.